The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Just how much better can the Jets offense be? A Jets analyst wrote a whole story on the 3 reasons why the Jet fans need to believe. We'll get into that and much more. It's the Jake Asman Show. Happy Saturday. Let's hit it and get it started.
We sitting in here, we excited as hell.
Now it's time to get to work. Are you a happy guy?
Oh my goodness, let's go!
I haven't felt joy talking about the Jets in a long time. When they announced it, I went, yeah! Let's go! A new chapter for the Jets has started. Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji are tasked with shaping the future of this franchise. Will they be the ones to finally get it right? We will be here for every step of the journey on the Jake Asman Show, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
Here we go, Jet fans. Welcome in, everybody. It is indeed the Jake Asman Show, presented by PrizePicks. 2 weeks from today, we're going to be partying in Atlantic City, Gangrene Beach Club, the first ever Gangrene Beach Club at HQ2 at Oceans Casino. Join me, Wayne Crabette, and your favorite Jets reporters, super fans, content creators, all in one spot. Tickets are available now at gangrenebeachclub.com. To join me, Rich Cimini, Brandon Tierney, Fireman Ed, Connor Hughes, Antoine Staley, Brian Costello, Ryan Sampson, Zach Rosenblatt, Will Parkinson, Frankie V, Omari Brown, Matt O'Leary, Green Bean, Richie from Jets Media, Robbie Sabo, Dom C, Joe Blewett, Nick Faria, Boy Green, Bree Martinez, Nick Shine, Tyson Rouch, and many, many more. Gangrenebeachclub.com. 2 weeks from today, it is going down. All right, Jet fans. If this guy was 21, he'd be at Gangrene Beach Club, but he just wrapped up 10th grade, or actually not even that. He just wrapped up 9th grade. He's going in the 10th grade. Connor Long from Jets X Factor joins us now. Connor, why aren't you 21 yet?
Jake, I wish I could be there with you guys. I'm sure it'll be a blast. I'm sure it will be fun. A ton of incredible, like you said, content creators, reporters, super fans. A ton of my colleagues from JetX will be there. So I hope everyone who's going has a great time. And thank you for having me, Jake. Looking forward to chopping up with you. Shout out to everyone still supporting the show, all the Asmaniacs. This is, Jake, as we were kind of talking about beforehand, where the real true supporters who bleed green still come out and join a Jet show on June 27th on a Saturday morning when there is literally nothing happening in Jets land. So appreciate you having me and looking forward to going back and forth.
I feel bad for you, man. You're a tortured sports fan. You're a Jet fan. You're wearing a Mets hat.
Yep.
And you're not even a Knick fan. You're a big Nets guy. So you didn't get to enjoy the Knick championship. I mean, the pain that you've gone through at such a young age. You got the Evan Roberts teams. It's brutal.
No, dude, it's brutal. I'm not a Knicks hater though, so like I couldn't root for them against the Spurs. That couldn't happen. Well, when they won, it kind of gave me a glimmer watching everyone celebrate what it would be like if/when the Jets win a Super Bowl in our lifetime. 53-year drought. I mean, there's no other way to put it. Coming from a Nets fan, Knicks fans are some of the best fans in the world. The dedication that they had filling the arena when it was, 20, 25 game win seasons. And again, it's positivity for the Jets. I mean, James Dolan was once at the point of hatred that Woody Johnson's at right now. So got to hope that the Jets could turn it around and follow suit. But yeah, I'm happy for all the Knicks fans out there, and it kind of united New York in a way. I think in a day and age where there's so much division in really every aspect of life, especially in the state of New York, I feel like it kind of brought the whole city together, which was really great to see.
There's no doubt. And shout out to you for continuing to crush it with all your Jet content, Nets content, still making sure you get good grades in school and all that. You're going to a broadcaster camp this summer. Connor's actually, I wanted to have him on because it's been a little bit. It's been so busy. And Connor's going to be filling in for me next Wednesday doing a show because I am speaking at a sports media conference in the city next week. So not doing shows Wednesday. So let's get Connor on so the Asmaniacs can remember this young kidder now has this deep voice who's doing a great job covering the New York Jets over at JetX. And you wrote a great story that we'll break down on the show. I'm going to put it up on the screen so people can read the full article. We'll post the link in the live chat. 3 reasons why the New York Jets offense will improve in 2026. So we'll go through each reason. But before we even do that, just general state of the Jets. How do you feel about where this roster is at going into training camp next month?
I was actually talking about this with a former Jet the other day. It's like, I feel like every year, this is the time where, oh, you criticize the offseason moves. Oh, I wish the Jets drafted this guy, or that guy. I wish they went after this free agent. And then there's kind of all this dead time in June and July. And us as fans and analysts, we look back and are like, oh, you know what? This could actually equate to a more positive result. You know what? The Jets made the right decision here. They made the wrong decision there, what have you. So I feel like this is the time of year where we often get delusional and raise expectations when nothing is really happening, just out of the spite of it, because we need something to talk about. But I think this year feels different, and I know that might not be what Jet fans want to hear, but I wrote about this a few weeks ago as well. There's a huge difference between this year's Jets roster and last year's Jets roster. Last year, they had a lot of young guys on the team who had not established themselves in the NFL, whether that had been guys added on the free agent market or day 3 picks, late day 2 picks. They were expecting to take on large roles last season. Obviously, that didn't work out. They tried to sign a quarterback and avoid the passing element of things with Justin Fields. Now the Jets have taken a more balanced approach. And when you talk about their roster construction, their approach this offseason was much more cohesive. They brought in a ton of young talent through the draft, 3 first-round picks, 4 selections in the top 50, guys who are going to come in and help you win right away. They have a draft pedigree. And then to boot, they added a ton of veterans who are established on the free agent market. I mean, most notably, look at the defensive side of the ball. Even a guy like David Onyemata is one of the best run-stopping defensive tackles in the league. He's going to help you tremendously in that area. I think a lot of people forget the Jets were the 4th worst team against the run last year. Kingsley Enagbare, Joseph Osai, they're going to help you with that off the edge, kind of aid Will McDonald's struggles in that area. Demario Davis remains one of the best linebackers in all of football. In the safety room, you have Minkah Fitzpatrick, again, an all-pro level safety, who is one of the best in football, who's going to give you a huge boost on the back end of the defense, can also play nickel corner for you. Dane Belton is an under-the-radar move that I've spoken about, as a guy who has a ton of turnover upside, is going to force fumbles for you, is going to compete with Malachi Moore for that starting strong safety job. And then, of course, at quarterback, you hope this off-field stuff can blow over with Geno Smith, but regardless of what he actually plays like, and I wrote this in the article, it's going to fall somewhere in between of what he was like with the Seahawks and what he was like for the Raiders. I doubt he's going to be as good as he was with the Seahawks. It's possible, and I doubt he's going to be as bad as he was with the Raiders. I think it's going to fall somewhere in the middle, as it often does. But at the end of the day, the Jets have a quarterback who can throw the football. The Jets did not have that last year with Justin Fields. Geno Smith, during his time with the Seahawks, consistently graded out those 3 years as one of the best deep passers in the league. Why we've seen these highlights of him and Adonai Mitchell, in these off-season workouts. So I'm looking forward to this year. I think there's a lot of reason for optimism. It's hard for me to put an exact win total on what I think they're going to do, but at the very least, they should look like somewhat of a competent football team in multiple different areas, largely due to the way they approached roster construction this offseason.
If you're watching this live, hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel. You can read all of Connor's Jets analysis over at jetsxfactor.com. Also want to say this before we get into Connor's actual story that I thought made some interesting points. Raffle at the end of today's show, raffle 79 in our weekly Asmaniac raffle series. So if you want in, get the membership, send in a super chat that qualifies, or you can send me a Zelle or Venmo if it's easier for you to enter that way. At the end of today's show, we're going to raffle away 5 total prizes. The first one is a Wayne Corbett signed jersey. The second prize is an Aaron Glenn signed end zone jet logoed pylon. The third prize is a Garrett Wilson framed jersey number plaque. The fourth prize is a Jets jersey of your choosing from any Jet legend we featured. Name it. Mangold, Corbett, Curtis Martin, Klecko, you name it. We send it to you. And last and certainly not least, 2 tickets for Gangrene Beach Club, which, of course, is 2 weeks from today. And as a little bonus for watching on a Saturday, if you enter during this show It's 2 for the price of 1. We'll put you in next week's raffle, which I can already tell you the top prize next week is going to be a Broadway Joe Namath signed helmet. So your chance to win that next week and all the prizes this week if you enter while this live Saturday show with Connor is going on right now. All right, Connor. So in terms of your story here, the headline again was 3 reasons why the New York Jets offense will improve in 2026. And your first reason is the offensive line. We know the Jets locked up Joe Tippmann. They brought in Dylan Parham to replace John Simpson. What is your expectation for the Jet offensive line? Are they good? Are they very good? Can they be top 5? Can they be great? Just your overall thoughts on just where the offensive line actually is in your assessment.
I think they fall somewhere, Jake, in the 10 to 15 range when all's said and done in the top pass protection categories, run blocking things, whatnot. I think overall it's somewhere in the top 10 to 15 range. And last year, it's actually hard to assess the Jets offensive line based on pure metrics because of how long the Jets quarterbacks held on to the ball. A lot of the numbers are skewed against the Jets linemen because a lot of quarterbacks were at fault for sacks last year. Brady Cook, Justin Fields, from time to time, holding onto the ball for 3+ seconds and making the Jets offensive line look worse than they actually were. I think the fair assessment is in the 10 to 15 range. At the very least, they're going to take a stride forward. They're still young. They're still ascending. All the 4 of the 5 starters from last year are returning. The only change is at left guard with Dylan Parham, who last year graded out better than John Simpson in almost every category. The Jets objectively got him on a better deal than the Ravens did for Simpson. He's younger. Durability-wise, they pretty much are equal. I think Parham has the potential to be a free agent steal this offseason. I think he's going to be an upgrade over Simpson at left guard. So you're making an upgrade there. The Jets are going to have a quarterback in Geno Smith who's going to get the ball out of his hands quicker. We saw what Breece Hall could do playing behind a competent offensive line for the first time in his career, as I noted in the article, set a career high for single-season rushing yards. So the offensive line ascending not only wins you games in the trenches, but it also opens up the rest of the offense, and that's going to allow Breece Hall to contribute out of the backfield as a rusher and as a receiver. It's going to allow Geno Smith to have some more time to connect on deep balls downfield, make decisions. So having an offensive line, as you guys know, that is sustainable, that is producing at a high level consistently, not only wins you the game in the trenches, but also unlocks the rest of the offense.
Now, last year, they lost AVT right before the season started. But then after that, the same 5 guys started every game. Your thoughts on just the depth behind the starters? Because obviously, I don't know if you could bank on having the same type of starter health once the games become reality once again.
I wrote about this a couple weeks ago as well. I think the interior depth, most notably, is a concern. You have Enes Cooper, Max Mitchell, Landon Young, Cole Laveau, Xavier Newman. Those are the 5 guys who are your backups on the interior of the offensive line. Landon Young is the only guy on that list, I believe, who has played over 30 snaps at the NFL level. I think it was 880 in 3 seasons with the Saints, and they were not great. He did not grade out well. They picked him up after rookie minicamp, or I believe it was, and he kind of got a tryout there, and they're giving him an opportunity now on the 90-man roster. I think there's legitimate reason for concern there. Someone who could potentially be cut this summer, who I keep an eye on, is Anthony Bradford. He was on the Seahawks starting offensive line this past year that won the Super Bowl. He wasn't great. He committed a lot of penalties. He didn't grade out particularly well, but as a backup, he perfectly fits what the Jets need, not in a starting role, but in the backup role for the inside of this offensive line. The depth does concern me because, like you said, Jake, last year the Jets got really, really lucky. They had the same 5 guys trot out every single snap from weeks 1 through 18. So I think that is a concern for sure, and one I think the Jets can still address at some point throughout the summer around cutdown day, because guys who aren't expected to get cut end up getting cut and go out and help a team contribute in the regular season. So I'd monitor the cutdown day market, waiver wire after the fact. That's definitely going to be important for the Jets to beef up at areas like the interior of the line, maybe adding a linebacker or two who's a veteran and has proven himself before. I think, though, there's definitely reason for concern there. And even at the tackle spot, Chukwuma Okorafor, that was a highly polarizing free agent signing last offseason. We didn't see him in action this year. You don't know what he's going to bring you if he is to get forced into action in exchange for Olu or Membu. So definitely reasons for concern on the depth front, Jake.
The next part of your story talks about the new quarterback replacing the old quarterback. That's Justin Fields. Geno Smith ups the floor. We know he's significantly better than any quarterback, including Tyrod, to be fair, that they played last year. But what are you personally expecting from Geno? And for the sake of this conversation, let's just say that he's cleared, exonerated from the legal situation that is following him. So your thoughts on what Geno, after breaking down his career, his last few years, last year, what went wrong, and how he fits with the Jets, what are you expecting from him?
Yeah, so when you talk about Geno, the first thing that jumps off the page when it comes to his fit with the Jets is his strengths align perfectly with the play calling tendencies of Frank Reich, which is great because there are only a few players in the league, quarterbacks in particular, who could thrive regardless of scheme. So at first, and Geno isn't one of them, at first, him having that alignment with Reich is awesome to see. Also, the routes that Reich likes to call and that Geno likes to throw happen to also be a fit with Garrett Wilson. So you kind of have that three-way connection there that I think is going to be really, really, really helpful for Geno. It's going to make Frank Reich's job easier. It's going to give Garrett Wilson the potential to have his career best season with arguably the best quarterback he's played with in his career, hoping he can revert back to his level of play with the Seattle Seahawks. And as I mentioned in the column there, the Jets are the perfect destination, as I just spoke about, for Geno to get back to that level of play. If he's going to revive his career and get back to that form, there is no better destination than to do it with the Jets because of the offensive line, because of the ecosystem they have, because of the play caller that they currently have on their staff. But at the end of the day, I think it's going to fall somewhere in the middle. I don't think he's going to be as bad as he was last year with the Raiders, leading them to the worst record in the league and throwing the most interceptions in football. And I don't think he's going to be the guy who was a two-time Pro Bowler in 3 seasons with the Seahawks. I think it's going to fall somewhere in the middle. I don't think he's going to be a bottom 10 quarterback. I think he probably ranks 15th to 17th overall. And honestly, that's okay. I've said if the Jets offense can finish overall somewhere in that same range, 15th to 17th, the defense can be 12th to 15th. You play well on special teams. Like, that's perfectly fine with me. That shows me you're a competitive football team. That shows me that you've taken a massive step forward from last year where you had one of the worst overall offenses in the league and one of the worst defenses in football as well. So I think his overall play is going to fall somewhere in the middle, but I really like the fit between him, Reich, Garrett Wilson. You hope he can unlock that deep ball that he showed in Seattle. As I referenced at the top of the show, he's one of the best deep passers in football those 3 seasons with the Seahawks, which not only helps Adonai Mitchell, but for those out there who are still hoping Arian Smith could be something, he is the perfect fit as well. So it's not going to be nearly as bad as Justin Fields, or at least I hope, but I don't think it's going to be as great as we saw with the Seahawks. I think it's going to fall somewhere in the middle, but at the very least, he should up the floor, as I mentioned in the article, and provide some hopeful play for us Jet fans.
It better not be anywhere close to the Justin Fields level of play. I don't know if any of us can handle another year quite like that, Connor.
Oh, I certainly can. I mean, dude, and all the long-time Jet fans out there as well. I mean, 2-7, benched after 9 games, $30 million guaranteed. There's no other way to put it than it was a simple miscalculation. But Jake, the positive, and I know you've been critical of Aaron Glenn. I've been very supportive of Darren Muji as well. Them going after Geno Smith, as I mentioned earlier on, shows them altering an approach in their roster construction strategy, realizing it didn't work last year with Fields, saying, we want a quarterback who's going to add to the rushing identity, not so much the passing game. They realize they're going to need to throw the football to have success in this game, and they made that change with Geno Smith, which I
know you're not of the age to gamble, but hypothetically, if you were, and you were using PrizePicks and using that code HMA, so you put $5 in and got $50 to mess around with, it sounds like you'd take the more on both Geno Smith's passing yards number there and touchdowns thrown. I think, just full transparency, this is way too low. Unless Geno Smith gets benched after 10 games or fewer, or he gets hurt, which you can't predict, how does he not throw for at least 3,000 passing yards and at least 20 touchdowns, given the makings of this offense?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm more optimistic on Geno compared to most. I did a target distribution piece for JetX where I calculated what I think Geno's stats are going to be and divvied that up among the Jets pass catchers. I'm looking at that now. I have Geno completing 65.9% of his passes for 3,900 yards, 24 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, averaging 7.5 yards per attempt and a 94.1 passer rating. So I am really optimistic on Geno from the passing yard standpoint. And that's mostly because if you look at his tendencies throughout his career, he throws the football among the most in the league. So since 2022, he's ranked 8th in attempts, 14th, 4th, and 18th. So if you kind of take the median of that, it's like around the 7 to 9 range. So I think when you talk about Geno, he's going to throw the football a lot this year. If he's healthy for all 17 games, which I think he will be, or somewhere in that range, I don't think he's going to suffer, at least we hope, a season-ending injury or anything like that. I think he's a safe bet to clear both marks there.
Make your own picks with PrizePicks. Again, promo code HMA. Click the link in the description. They got everything. Maybe the Yankees will score some runs today against Boston. That'd be nice. You could do a Yankees Red Sox prize.
You're complaining about the Yankees, Jake. Come on, man. Come on.
Look, I know you guys have it rough in Queens right now, but maybe the Andy Green era will get its first win later today, Connor.
You can only hope, Jake. You can only hope.
You're watching live, hit the like button. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Again, weekly raffle at the end of the show. Your chance to win a signed Corbett jersey, signed Aaron Glenn end zone pylon, Garrett Wilson framed jersey plaque, your choice of a Jets Legends jersey. Pick the player you want, and then 2 tickets 2 weeks from today to our first ever Gangrene Beach Club party at HQ2 in Atlantic City. Some super chats I want to hit. This is just the power of the community. So Frank P was having a difficult time trying to figure out how to send a super chat. His credit card was maybe locking him out, or Mr. YouTube was preventing him. So Frank P says, let's see if this one goes through. It did. And then Frank P was able to send a $50 super chat, and he says, message not sent, edit and try again. Frank P in the Asmaniac raffle for 10, but it turns out he wants to donate his entries to the great Mike D's Nuts, who is out of the hospital and is making, we hope, a strong recovery. So Frank, incredible gesture. Mike D's Nuts, we're thinking of you. You're in the raffle for 10, courtesy of Frank. Let's go.
And here we go. Let's go. Let's go.
Then we have the super chat from Cisco saying, testing Frank, ? Cisco Lopez in the raffle for 2. Let's go.
Just don't let go of the rope.
Appreciate both you, Frank and Cisco, of course. Let's see here. Let's get to the last of the 3 reasons in Connor's story. And again, I posted the link in the live chat for those who want to read the full thing. The final offensive note that you highlighted is the Jets pass catching depth. So let's go through it. We know Garrett Wilson's the one. How do you feel about the rest of the pass catching depth surrounding Geno Smith, Frank Reich, in this offense?
Look, it's certainly better than last year, Jake. I mean, this is a club that was relying on Josh Reynolds to be their wide receiver too last season, which a lot of people called out before the season began, and we quickly saw was not feasible after Garrett Wilson went down with injury. Still led the team with under 400 receiving yards. Mason Taylor, I thought, had a really, really solid rookie campaign, led the team in catches despite playing with 3 different quarterbacks. His contested catch rate was the 2nd best in the NFL among qualified tight ends, behind only George Kittle. I feel strong about the Jets pass catching core right now. I think it's a stark improvement compared to last year, although it wasn't necessarily a very high bar. The only criticism that I really have is they're relying a lot on these rookies to produce, in Kenyon Sadiq and Omar Cooper Jr. And these guys should contribute right away. They were first round picks. There is no doubt about that whatsoever. But you know, if Omar Cooper Jr. doesn't live up to the billing as the Jets' surefire wide receiver 2 and emerges that WR2 behind G5, I don't know. The Jets' pass-catching depth could take a hit. If Kenyon Sadiq doesn't become an all-around weapon right away, it could be used in the screen game, who doesn't improve his route-running ability a ton, who continues to struggle with drops, then the Jets are at a loss there. So I like the upside and the pedigree that the room has. Like I said, I'm a big Mason Taylor fan. I think he's going to have a huge breakout season this year. The contested catch rate coupled with Frank Reich's historic tendencies. If you look at Reich's time, his first year with the Colts, Eric Ebron led that team in receiving touchdowns with 13. And then his 2 seasons with the Eagles, Zach Ertz led the Eagles in touchdowns. So Reich likes to use his tight ends, and Taylor's contested catch rate shows that he could become the Jets' go-to target in the red zone. So I like what he possesses there and the upside that he could hopefully turn into production this year. But overall, it's a step in the right direction. There's a lot of upside. There's high pedigree in the room. You hope AD Mitchell can not necessarily return to the level of play, but reach the level of play.
Do you buy it? Because it seems like every OTA or minicamp, it was AD Mitchell making a huge play.
Well, the thing with AD is I think he needs the quarterback. Last year, the film show it, the numbers show it. He was consistently getting open. He's one of the best separators in football, and he had his fair share of drops from time to time, so he's going to need to clean up his hands, and by no means is he a perfect receiver. I think he's the Jets' wide receiver 3 right now, but if Geno is looking like the deep passer he was in Seattle, I'm certainly buying the AD Mitchell hype because we've seen the separation. We've seen his ability to consistently get open and downfield. He just hasn't had the quarterback who could hit him in stride and he can make plays with. So you hope Geno could be that guy and to kind of just tie everything together. The pass catching course promising from an upside standpoint. They're young. They're still ascending, just like the Jets offensive line. But the one criticism I do have is their overall reliance on these rookies.
I think it's a fair criticism because how often do all your rookies hit right away? Yeah. So you're kind of banking on that. You're also relying on Mason Taylor. You brought him up. You like him a lot. He's got to take a big step forward in year 2.
Yeah, no, I entirely agree. And the good thing is he has the tools to do that. I don't think it's too lofty to expect him to be the wide receiver 3 on this depth chart. You just hope Omar Cooper could do his job and live up to the hype there. And honestly, the tight end room really excites me. It's funny because this was one of the biggest areas of need for the Jets last summer. I really, really like the way it's come along with Taylor, with what Sadiq holds. I was a huge fan of that pick. And you kind of move Ruckert into the tight end 3 role where he is the run blocking specialist of sorts. I really like the way the tight end room is formed, and you could utilize Andrew Beck as a pass catcher from time to time as we saw a great lead blocker as a fullback. So I'm happy with the overall evolution of the tight end room this past year.
Frank Reich, 12 personnel, Sadiq, Mason Taylor. Is Sadiq the power slot and Mason Taylor the inline? Your thoughts on the alignment?
Yeah, I think the positive that I wrote about after Sadiq was drafted is that Taylor and him can play right next to each other. I think throughout the pre-draft process, it was, well, how if they draft Sadiq, how is he going to fit next to Taylor? They just took Mason Taylor in the second round, had a great rookie season. They can fit next to each other because Sadiq actually took more snaps in the slot last year than he did in line. I like Taylor in line. I think he has more size. I think he's more physical. I think he's a better blocker technique-wise than Sadiq is. So I think he goes in line. Sadiq could play as that big slot wide receiver. I think something we could see in week 1 and obviously throughout the course of the season is I think they're going to use Sadiq a lot in the screen game. He has the speed. He has the elusiveness. Again, if you could refine his route running ability and his hands, he has the potential not only to develop into an all-around weapon with the Jets, but especially a guy who could be used in that screen game with great blockers in the open field and make plays. So I'm looking forward to see how they utilize Sadiq and Taylor next to each other. But I think right now what makes sense is Taylor in line due to his blocking ability and size, Sadiq in the slot due to his pass-catching prowess.
Connor Long from Jets X Factor is my guest, also the host of the Next Gen Jet Show. You guys still going to be doing shows throughout the summer before training camp, or half of you guys going to summer camp, half of you guys doing whatever kids your age do nowadays in the summer? You're going to broadcasting camp, so you're not the normal. Yes. You're not the normal 10th grader I'm talking to.
Yeah, we are figuring it out. We haven't been able to do a show these past 2 weeks because Father's Day, conflict the week before, etc. So hopefully we can get something done before training camp. But if not, we still have you covered all season long post-training camp. So yeah, shout out to everyone still supporting these shows in June because as you and I were discussing off air, it's tough. It's tough this time of year when it comes to finding things that people want to talk about with how good the Knicks are. Everyone was focused on that. So shout out to all the true Asmaniacs who are still tuning into the show on Saturday morning, June 27th.
Oh, yeah. We're making it happen, baby. We'll get to July 25th when Jets rookies report to camp some way, somehow. Phantom Green and White says, got to give Jake credit for still having content right now. We appreciate you. Well, Phantom, thanks for watching. Otherwise, wouldn't be possible to do it. Amanda Madison writes in, wow, Connor's voice gets deeper every time he comes on. We're seeing him blossom into a young man. I do get a kick out of it because everyone notices it. Blitz BK, damn, Connor's voice sure has gotten deeper. I got to go back and find your first ever call into my show
Yes.
sometime in 2024. I think it was or maybe was it the 23 season?
It was the 23 season, but it was like the week of the Commanders game, I remember. So it was like week 17, right before Christmas time.
It was late in the year then already.
Yeah, end of December, and that's when I had just stumbled upon your show and everything, and obviously I've been an avid follower and host from time to time ever since. That's
right.
Great.
Connor's filling in for me on Wednesday, so make sure you guys tune in. We're gonna give you guys a show. Connor will hold it down as I am speaking at a sports media conference that day, so I didn't want to go dark on the channel. Cisco says, Connor, predictions on A.D. Mitchell, second most receiving yards under GW, ?
Yeah, so the projections I currently have for Mitchell right now, 55 targets, which is 3.2 per game, 32 receptions, 385 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Again, I just think there's too much of an unknown with Geno and what he's going to be like this year for me to predict him to be like a 600, 700-yard receiver. I currently have Kenyon Sadiq as finishing second in receiving behind Garrett Wilson with 535 yards. So I think there's a possibility where Mitchell could reach those heights. It's just hard for me to bank on it right now with the uncertainty regarding Geno and which version of Geno Smith will he put out on display. But I think that would still be a very, very solid season for him. 3 touchdowns, stretching the field. You're finishing, in that case, it would be 4th on the team in receiving behind Sadiq and Omar Cooper Jr. Obviously, Garrett Wilson leading the way, who I have hitting 1,200 receiving yards this year. So I have him 4th on the team. If he could do that, that'd be a fine year. Just clean up the hands, continue to get open downfield, and hope the QB sees you there at the right time and in the right place.
No doubt. And look, I think AD is one of those X factors for the offense, because if he turns out to be like a legit offensive weapon for this team, let's see how Sadiq obviously pans out, and they still have one more pick from the Colts in the first round this year. Hopefully the Colts are just awful and the Jets could really benefit. But you're talking about a potential all-time trade. If you turn Sauce into a number 2, number 3 receiver, Kenyon Sadiq and an additional 1 still to come, that's a big time deal for Darren Muji and company.
Yeah, especially if that 1 ends up being the QB of the future that the Jets take and he ends up working out. So, yeah, I love the Sauce trade when it happens. It continues to age better and better by the day. The same with the Quinnen Williams deal. The Jets have all this ammunition now. They used some of it, obviously, this year, but the 27 draft is going to be huge for the future of the franchise and what they ultimately do at quarterback. I know you spent a ton of time covering it, Jake, as did I, the Brandon Sorsby situation. Honestly, I think it's good news for Jets fans that he didn't end up going into the supplemental draft. You don't have to worry about the Jets trying to rush into anything or find their solution quicker. Instead, they get to just sit back, wait till the 27 draft, let this year play out. They have 3 first-rounders and kind of let everything come to you. So I think the Jets are in a great spot right now, and it'd be even better if they could play a competitive brand of football.
Rick Kent says, who is this guy? It looks like an older version of Connor Long. Shout out to you, Rick, for being tuned into the show. Aaron writes in, Jake, do you have yourself on a Speedo?
Good question.
I could do you one better. 2 weeks from today, you'll see me, Brandon Tierney, and Rich Samini in a Speedo at the Asmaniac Speedo competition at Gangrene Beach Club. Wayne Crabette, cover your eyes, sir, because it's going to get weird 2 weeks from today. Gangrene Beach Club. Go at gangrenebeachclub.com to get your tickets. It's going to be awesome, and we're looking forward to seeing everyone in one spot. Connor, for you, in terms of this head coach, what does Aaron Glenn have to do, in your opinion, to be the head coach for a 3rd year?
I think it's kind of tough to put an overall win total on it because I hate doing those things that lack context and there's no background info to what happened, who got injured, etc. But I think the magic number is 7. And again, I hate doing it because it's pretty general. It's pretty broad. It leaves context out of things. But I think 7 and up, he'll be back. I've seen growth from Aaron Glenn off the field, even in just the way he approaches the media, the way we've kind of seen him patrolling around these off-season workouts. You see he clearly learned something from last year. He came in with this approach where he wanted to raise the expectations right away, gas the whole fan base up. Obviously, that didn't work out in year 1. He's kind of altered it, and I think understand where the frustration comes from this fan base. And as much as fans hate to hear it because it's true, he's taken full accountability for last season. He knows what went wrong. He made a ton of changes on his staff. I think he's going to objectively be a better play caller than Steve Wilkes was. The numbers show it, the progress that he and the Lions defense made throughout his time there. But to save his job, I think the Jets defense, with the personnel that they have, I think you're looking for them to rank in the top 12 to 15 at the very least this season in these overall categories. Just the personnel they have at all three levels right now, coupled with what you hope Aaron Glenn can be as a play caller. They need to take a stride on defense. And again, just be a competitive football team. That is what fans want to see. I think this roster is capable right now, because you've said it too, Jake. I've heard you say it. The roster is way better than it was last year. Like in every area on the depth chart, except kicker, you can make the case that the Jets have upgraded at every single position, which is positive to see. I think right now this roster is capable of winning anywhere from 7 to 9 games. I think now it's in the hands of the coaching staff, Frank Reich, Aaron Glenn, what Brian Duker offers from a defensive game planning perspective. I think it's in the hands of those guys and overall the execution to see where this team ends up finishing. So winning under 7 games, unless there's some catastrophic slew of injuries or something unforeseen happening, it would be tough for me to advocate bringing Aaron Glenn back.
I think getting off to a really good start matters as well, because he can't win 7 games but do it the way Gase did in his first year, where he started 1-7. You can't start 0-7 in year 1 like Aaron Glenn did last year and then be 1-5 in year 2. You're going to need to be relevant at the beginning of the year. It's why I've gotten some heat from this, but I think week 1 is almost a must win, because if you start with a loss to Robert Saleh, look at the schedule after that. Packers, Lions, Bears. Oh my, you could be looking at 0-4 before you get to that Browns game in week 5, which is a de facto must win, even if you beat the Titans in week 1. Because then it's like, okay, if we lose the next 3, at least we could beat the Browns. And then after the Pats, we still have Dolphins, right? Like you could be 3-5, through your first 8, and 3-5 through your first 8. Not great, but you're not completely dead. I think so much of the Jet year, it's crazy to say, it really comes down to how they start the season, especially in week 1.
Definitely. And I think when you look at the Jets schedule, I kind of break it down in spurts. Entirely agree with you, by the way, that week 1 is as close to a must win as week 1s have been. They need to win that football game. They need to beat Robert Saleh. They need to start 1-0. Getting off to a hot start is so important for this football team, from where they finished last year for what they want to accomplish this season. Then I think you need to steal at least one of the 3 games against the NFC North opponents, which is doable. I tab the Bears as the most likely team to accomplish that against. And then you hope to win 2 out of the 3, beating Cleveland and Miami, probably inevitably falling to the Patriots, and then take the Raiders as well. That needs to be a win. And then similar to the NFC North stretch, one of the 3 of the Chiefs, the Bills, the Chargers, beat Miami, go into the bye. Think you could finish with wins against the Cardinals and Vikings. What is that, 7, 8 wins? So it's easy to look at it on paper, but again, it's all going to come down to execution. And as you say, getting off to a hot start is more important than ever for this team right now.
Oh, 100%. Are we going to get you down to Nashville, Connor? How do we convince you to come down?
I've actually explored it before. Because my dad and I were looking at the opponents, and we're going to try to start doing 1 road game a year. And Nashville was in play. I think we're going to Chicago though. So
good choice.
Maybe if any Asmaniacs are out in Chi-Town, we'll see you guys there. But I'm sure the Nashville thing that you have planned will be incredible. What road game did you guys do last year?
Last year we did Tampa week 3.
Tampa. Yep. 0-3, and then the Will McDonald box. Oh, God,
yeah.
What a roller coaster.
Now, if you're going to be in Chicago, are you going to stop by the Beast Breaker lair and say hello?
If Beast is at the game, I'll meet up with him. I'll make that promise. I don't know if this is true, but I heard some rumblings that Beast is going to the home tailgate, not from Beast himself, but from a little birdie. Is that true, Jake? Can you confirm that?
Yes, October 25th, Jets Dolphins at MetLife.
Oh my
Beast
gosh.
Feast is officially happening. So get ready, Connor.
Is he flying out to New York just for the game?
He's flying in. He will be at MetLife, and Beast Feast is going down.
There he is.
Nothing starts with a fresh gallon of water.
Hey, put your ring light on.
How you doing? How you doing,
Beast,
everybody?
Hey, Beast, are you going to go to Jets Bears in Chicago and hang out with Connor Long?
Hey, as long as I got the vest on, I'm gonna be putting that vest on. You'll see the biker attitude as always. Grimy outlaws with their sweaty mouths, looking for a good time, destroying property, firing up cats, and taking an ass whooping like a real man.
Yeah, B, sometimes I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
We'll take that as a yes.
Yeah, I something about a vest. I don't know, but sounds like a yes. Maybe I'll meet Beast, but him going to the Dolphins game might be a selling point for me. We'll see there.
Amy with a super chat. Will Zappy be QB2 and underrated 2/3 at wide receiver? Well, I think Mason Taylor could be your underrated just number 2 pass catcher if you want someone that's not a receiver. Who knows what Omar Cooper will be right away as a rookie. A.D. Mitchell's a projection, but we'll see. I'd go with him if you wanted someone else. I don't even know if he's underrated anymore because it feels like every time we do a recap of an OTA or minicamp this spring, it's been, hey, another really big play by A.D. Mitchell. As far as Zappy goes, I think they're going to give Zappy and Klubnik a real chance at being the backup quarterback here. If they add another veteran, I don't know if it's because they're concerned about Geno. I think it's like, well, Zappy didn't play well in the spring and Klubnik was banged up and is a 4th-round rookie. But I think at least going into camp, Zappy and Klubnik, you tell me if you think I'm off base here, they're going to at least get a chance early on to compete for Geno's backup spot.
Oh, certainly. I think the backup will be one of those guys. It's in play that they go after like an Andy Dalton, or I think Samini said it with you guys that Cooper Rush is kind of off the table now. But I could see them adding a veteran. They're going to give these guys an opportunity, though. Zappy has started 9 NFL games. He's 4-5. He has 3 road wins. Among the guys available, like I'd rather just roll with him than try to sign a Josh Dobbs in free agency if he's still even available or someone like that. I'd rather have them battle it out. I agree wholeheartedly with your take on Taylor. But at the end of the day, they're going to give Klubnik every chance to win this job because they traded up for him. They drafted him in the 4th round, and I think they're going to give him every chance he has to run away with it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Connor Long has been our guest. Before we say goodbye to Connor, his good buddy Jack wants to know, what are the odds of trading for Mac Jones?
Shout out to you, Jack. Thank you for tuning in. Not high, because I think his value is still probably a 3rd or 4th round pick, right, Jake?
The only way they would do that is if something actually happened with Geno's availability for the season, and I don't see it.
Yeah, agreed. They would need to trade for someone like him or another one of those high-end veterans who started.
Kirk Cousins. Yeah. Maybe you call the Cardinals and see what's going on with Jacoby Brissett, something like that.
Or like I don't know. I was saying J.J. McCarthy if he doesn't win the job, but that's probably a little too risky just given the lack of starting experience and how bad he was this past year. Someone like that, though, and I don't know. The thing with Geno, I'm not buying it. Like, I need to wait for more information. I'm not a law enforcement expert. I know you've had some on the show, Jake. So I'm not too privy to like the ins and outs, and I don't think any of us are. I think that's in the hands of the Davie Police Department down in Florida, but we'll see what happens. I think all we could really do right now is wait for more information because right now the context is very vague. It's very one-sided. We don't know Geno's perspective. We don't know what went down leading up to that. We haven't really gotten any updates on the case since last week at this time. It was last Monday or Tuesday. So we'll see what happens, but it's the Jets. It's a quarterback who's involved in something like this. So, of course, it's going to make headlines and be the talk of the town in June.
Things were just too quiet, Connor. Things are just too quiet in Jetland. I know you got to run. I appreciate you hopping on.
Of course.
I'm looking forward to seeing the type of show you put together for the Asmaniacs on Wednesday. Continue success. All right. Hopefully your voice is even deeper, I'm sure, by the time you fill in on Wednesday. But keep crushing it. I'm so glad we got you back on the show. And I will talk to you soon. All right.
Absolutely. Jake, thank you so much for having me. Shout out to everyone, all the Asmaniacs tuning in next Wednesday. It'll be fun, so be sure to be here right on the Jake Asman Show. Again, Jake, thank you so much for having me. Really means a lot. Appreciate your continued support and keep crushing it on your end as well.
The great Connor Long checking in. Read his work, Jets X Factor. If you're a Net fan, check out his Nets content. You can find Connor's X account, Connor_Long15, and you can see all the net stuff he's doing. There's a Nets pod, does the Jet pod as well. Kid's crushing it. He's going to probably take my job and all your favorite broadcasters' job one day, so might as well embrace it. Open phone lines for anyone who wants in. Reminder about the raffle at the end of the show. This show is always available in audio form on Spotify and Apple. Just search Jake Asman Show, and you can get the podcast version of the YouTube show wherever you get your podcast. Just search Jake Asman Show, and you will see anything you might have missed. Again, we know about the raffle at the end of the show. Let me mention this again. If you entered during this show You'll be entered in next week's raffle, which includes a top prize of a signed Joe Namath helmet. So that is raffle 80, raffle 79 at the end of the show, featuring a Corbett signed jersey, a Aaron Glenn signed end zone pylon, Garrett Wilson framed jersey plaque, your choice of a Jets Legends jersey, and 2 tickets to our first ever Gangrene Beach Club event, which is 2 weeks from today. Justin writes in, been listening all the way through, and I'm definitely tuning in for Connor, standing in for you. He's very professional in his young career. Connor is the man. Kid is going into 10th grade, and he's more knowledgeable about the Jets than most people we could bring on to this show. So shout out to Connor. M. DeReezy says, F. Mac Jones, he's a dirty player. I don't like Mac Jones. I didn't want him when we discussed him as an option in the offseason. I don't want to trade a second-round pick for him. I didn't think it made sense. Geno makes sense. I would have preferred Cousins. I would have preferred, even trying it with Derek Carr would have been open to. But I'm okay with Geno for the year because I don't expect anything from Geno. I expect him to be better than Justin Fields. That's not saying much. That's kind of how I look at it. All right. Right now, we need your calls to keep this show rolling. So call in if you want in on the conversation. Talking Jets, talking anything on your mind. New York sports, Yankees, Red Sox, Mets in the Andy Green era, all that and more is up for grabs. Jack says early prediction for who the 27 Jet quarterback is. Well, I think it's going to be a first-round selection. I could easily just say Arch Manning, but how often does the guy that we think the Jets are going to end up with actually play out? Although, if you remember, we all talked about the Suck for Sam campaign, and that actually happened. The Jets did end up with Darnold, so maybe it could happen. I'll throw a curveball. C.J. Carr, Notre Dame quarterback. I'll throw a little curveball at you. It would be funny if it ends up being Dante Moore, by the way. Oh, he's avoiding the Jets. And it's like a year later, not so fast. Although I don't think he was actually avoiding the Jets, as we talked about at the time when that went down. All right, let's get to some of your calls. Show will continue as long as people call in. PMF Brandon. Start it off. Brandon, what's going on? Unmute your mic, Brandon. We can't hear you.
It's good now.
Yes, sir. We got you.
Miss Kid on the Jake Asman Show.
Oh, what's the name of your cat?
His name is Lucky. Hopefully he could bring some luck to the Jets.
Lucky? That's a good cat name.
But yeah, what you call him? My take today is, I'll be honest, what you call him from your last call. Hearing 9 and 7. I don't know if it's just me, but that just sounds like just. I know that we're going in the positive direction of like trying to get better, but it just sucks. Like it's sounding like another season of a missed playoff. I don't know if that's what you guys are trying to like say, but yeah, like I know like we're gonna get better and all, but it just sucks hearing that.
Do me a favor, Brandon. Call back. Your internet was giving you like that robot choppy sound. Yeah. Look, again, I don't think this is a playoff team. Like I could lie and be like, I think they are, but I don't. I think they're an improved football team. I want to see young players get better. I want to see roster development. I want to see some competency from the quarterback position so we can evaluate the rest of the team. But you go through the AFC right now. Are the Jets one of the 7 best teams in the conference? Like being objective here. Again, there's always teams that surprise every year. But if we're going through the AFC right now, Buffalo and New England both better than the Jets. Baltimore, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, better than the Jets. Houston, Jacksonville, better than the Jets. I think it's a toss-up with the Colts and the Titans. That's why I think week 1 is so important. Denver, Kansas City, and the Chargers better than the Jets. So are the Jets better than the Raiders? They could be. The Titans and the Colts, they could be. The Browns, they could be. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 teams they could be better than. And the Dolphins, 5. They could be better than 5 teams in the AFC right now. That's how I see it. And I'm saying could because those teams look at the Jets the same way we look at those teams. Oh, we're better than the Jets. You don't think the Dolphins think they could beat the Jets? They always beat the Jets. You know, you don't think that other teams like the Raiders with Mendoza now and all the money they spent to surround him with players? You know, they think they could beat the Jets. You don't think Titans fans look at week 1 like, oh, thank God we got the Jets in our opening game? Because then after that, we play the Eagles. We could be looking at 0-2 if we don't win week 1. They're thinking the same thing. Then they play the Giants and the Ravens, Texans. Tennessee's got a tough schedule. So week 1 is huge for them. Kevin says the Dolphins are horrendous, though. They are, but they've owned the Jets. Now, Tua's owned the Jets. McDaniel's owned the Jets, and neither is there anymore. I think the Jets are better than the Dolphins. If the Jets are going to have a season, they got to beat them twice. Justin says maybe in 28, 29, or 29 we could be in the play. The Jets could be in the playoffs next year. Next year, year 1 with a new coach and a rookie quarterback, they could be in the playoffs. I'm not throwing away 27. They could do it. This is a young, talented team if they do it right. They got 3 first-round picks in 27. Let's say they hit on some of their young acquisitions this year. Then you add a quarterback to the team next year and a real coach. Why not? Empty P says Tennessee is absolutely having the same convo about needing to beat the Jets. 100%. If I was doing a Titan show, we'd be saying it's a must-win for the Titans in week 1 for them as well. It's probably much bigger for the Jets because Glenn's in year 2 and he started 0-7 last year and it's playing Saleh. But if you're Robert Saleh, you don't want to lose to the Jets week 1. That's all part of it. Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. For those who missed it, had the opportunity to do a radio show yesterday with Bart Scott filling in for Chris Carlin. I've been asked this question a lot. How come MetLife Stadium doesn't have grass fields if they could do it for the World Cup? Well, we discussed this yesterday on the show. Take a listen.
Watch party yesterday, Bart, with you and Carlin in Hoboken.
Oh, it was dope, man. Listen, what a great game to have, though, too. The fact
Ecuador and Germany, right?
Yeah. So Ecuador had to score 2 goals to be able to qualify, and then early on, first 2-3 minutes, bam, scored by both sides, and then late, Ecuador gets the late goal and advance. They +7, you know what I mean, and they held on, and like now they get the advance, which was a huge upset because I think they call the German goalie like. They call him like the Terminator. He's like what's the guy from Mighty Ducks? The big
I don't remember the kid's name.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, way to mess it up.
Fulton Reed?
Icebox. Was it Icebox?
Was it?
It was something.
I'll take your word for it.
That's Icebox. But a good radio, we'll just go Icebox and we'll go on right until somebody calls in and say
the Mighty Ducks, the big kid.
Yeah.
It was Fulton Reed.
What was his name?
That was his name, Fulton Reed.
Oh, I thought he had it. Oh,
no, what? Icebox was in Little Giants.
Oh.
You're confusing sports movies.
That's my CTE, my bad.
Because there was ice involved.
Yeah. So I hear Icebox, I'm thinking, oh, yeah, that definitely had to be hockey.
I meant to ask you this because obviously you played as a player, of course, on the MetLife turf.
Yeah.
Would it piss you off if you were an active player on the Jets or the Giants, seeing there's real grass for the World Cup, but you can't put that grass on there for the actual NFL teams who use the stadium?
Until you realize that FIFA was paying like $1 billion. I didn't realize the fact that we have these huge NFL stadiums, like most places have to build stadiums to have the World Cup, but the fact that we're in different countries, Canada, Mexico, and in America, you know what I'm saying, like they didn't have to do that. So I wonder how much of that extra money kind of went to using the stadiums that exist, because clearly they had a budget. They have a budget. The countries have a budget to be able to build these stadiums. Because I think when it was in Saudi Arabia, right, I think they built 12 stadiums. And, like, when they leave, like, it's nothing else. Like, they're just there.
It's like a lot of the Olympic sites over the years. There's nothing for the stadiums when they're done being used.
Yeah, exactly.
Just sit there.
So I wonder just how much money
But the Jets
MetLife
and the
is
Giants,
actually making, though.
they have the money if they really wanted to do it.
But to be
We're talking
fair,
about two NFL franchises in New York that share a stadium.
But to be fair, like the Ravens get away with it, right? Because the Ravens have moved from turf to grass, and they figured out. And J.K. Dobbins hurt his Achilles on grass when they had grass. But the only pass I would give the Jets and Giants is the fact that somebody's going to be on that turf every week, where most places they get a chance to allow the grass to recover. They can have 2 games away, 2 home games away, and they can fix the turf. They can keep it up. But like here, when the Jets and Giants are going to play on it, we see this sometimes in Pittsburgh when the University of Pitt is playing and the Steelers field look like trash. It's like painted dirt at the end. And they can resod it, but it doesn't hold the roots when you're picking it all up, especially late. So I think that's why they do it. The weather is a little bit harsher, not too much harsher than it is in Baltimore. Baltimore gets away with it. But even late in the season, you can see Baltimore has that brown grass that starts to turn, and they only have somebody playing on their turf, 8 times out the year. So every other week or multiple weeks, there's nobody messing up the sod.
It does look great with grass. I'd love for them to figure out a way to. The technology exists where you could actually like roll out the field. It could go under the stadium, like you saw in Europe when the Jets played in Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. They have that.
But how much is that to build that mechanism when you didn't initially build for the infrastructure for that immediately?
The least they could do. The stadium's the worst. Don't get me started on MetLife.
Yeah. But when you think about it, like you have those were made with that. The problem is MetLife was designed after all that technology happened. I think Arizona, that technology happened after the Jets. So, like, all these new innovations came out after the Jets had already made their infrastructure. That's why if Woody decides to build the Jets their own stadium and move them back to Long Island, like people have kind of speculated or said.
Good luck with that. They just opted into they had a chance to opt out of the lease a year ago. They didn't.
Right.
You go to Fawn Park all the time. They love the practice facility. They've made all the new renovations to the locker room and the fitness area.
That's the issue. The issue is that practice facility, which is the weight room's been renovated for 2 years. So I can't see Woody making that move. That would be a bold move, to say up and build your own stadium. But, man, could you imagine having control of your own stadium?
Oh,
you look at the Bears.
That's the dream.
And
that's what Jet fans are dying for.
They're moving to Indiana. Yeah, because we tired of feeling like like it's Giant Stadium, but we share it, but we play equal money.
Yeah, you could say it's MetLife. You could make it gray. Yeah. It doesn't feel like the Jet Stadium. Now, maybe it's also because they haven't won, right? They've never had a playoff game there even, but it's –
But you also can look in the far distance and see the Giants practice facility right there, like from the parking lot. So it's like, this feels like theirs.
And the Jets, you look around, they're always connected to the Mets because they used to play at Chase Stadium. And there's a soccer stadium being built right next to Citi Field. That should have been where the Jets are playing.
Yeah.
Years ago, 2000, you tried to have, the lower Manhattan Stadium on the west side, and that obviously got shut down. Dolan and the politicians shut that one down. It's just, I don't think it's ever going to happen, but that is something that I know any longtime Jet fan will say, we need our own stadium.
Yeah, own stadium. And then who cares if the stadium is far? Like, you mean if the practice facility is far, you can still stay there, and it don't matter because the night before the game, you stay at the hotel.
Right. You could do it. You could do it.
Nobody cares. Yeah. So maybe we'll get our own stuff.
Wouldn't that be nice? The Jets ever had their own stadium? I was telling Bart, don't count on it. Don't count on it. The Jets Stadium should be exactly where NYCFC is getting their own stadium. That's where it should be. But I don't think that's happening. I noticed that we're an hour into the show. We got a raffle at the end of the show for 5 items, and we don't have a single gifted membership yet. So I'm going to change that. I'm gifting a membership right now. If you want it, here's what you need to do to be eligible. You got to like the video. You got to be subscribed to my channel and have in the settings that you want to be eligible to receive a gifted membership. I'll give people 10 seconds, and we're going to let it rip so someone could get a channel membership and be entered in our raffle, which is coming up in just a bit at the end of the show. Ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hit it.
And here we go. Let's go. Let's go.
One gifted membership from yours truly has been fired off. And as I say that, a bunch of you gifted memberships. Who even got mine? Maz41, you're the person who got my gifted membership. I'm putting you in the raffle for one. Let's go.
I hug him every day. I hug him every day.
The Asmaniacs coming through. Ozzy gifting a channel membership. Ozzy, your gifted membership went to listener Amy Katera. So, Amy, you are a channel member thanks to Ozzy. Very cool. Mad Max, shout out to you, Mad Max. Good job, as you would say.
Yeah.
Mad Max gifting a channel membership. It went to Orox Games. So, Orox, you can thank Mad Max for making you a channel member. And Kelly Maria. Kelly, thanks for joining the Patreon yesterday. Her gifted membership went to listener Joe Blue 3435. So big shout out to the community. I've begun counting all the names for this week. Last chance to get in on the show. If you want to be a part of today's conversation, now is certainly the time to do that. So hit up the Gus Buster Umbrella Hotline for your chance to get on the show and give your take. Super chat from Kevin Zerwicker, who won the signed Sanchez football earlier this week. He's in the raffle for 2. If the Jets go 0-4, which I don't think will happen, is Aaron Glenn gone or too early? Also put me in the raffle. 0-4 is teetering. I think he'd get the Browns game, right? If you start 0-4, you would have lost the Salah, which you know Woody's going to hate. Then you lost all 3 games against the NFC North. Then you're coming home to play the Browns, who aren't very good, right? Like, the Jets should beat the Browns. They're going to be favorites in that game. It's the first game the Jets arguably will be a favorite in. It feels like if you lose that at 0-5, he could be fired. Now, I honestly would say this. Shouldn't you just keep Glenn if you start at 0-5? He's your best weapon to getting the top pick in the draft. It's like when the Jets didn't fire Adam Gase in 2020. They let him finish a 2-14 season. Of course, the Jets had to win 2 games late in the year. But they won 2 games and didn't even get the number 1 pick. This year, they were worse than the Raiders in every metric. Didn't get the number 1 pick based on strength of schedule percentage points. Don't get me started. I could see Woody firing him if they started 0-5. Again, this is a nightmare scenario. I don't want to envision this, but they did start 0-7 last year when they were trying to win, so I guess we can't rule it out. But I almost would say, shouldn't you just keep Glenn? Again, if they're 0-5, your season's over. Why not keep the head coach for the rest of the year? And then it's easy to fire him. And I feel like there's less of the Jets are so dysfunctional. You know, they fired their last 2 coaches in the midst of a season, even though it'd be ridiculous to even try and compare Salah, who was in his 4th year, and Glenn, who started 0-7 in year 1 and then would be 0-5 in year 2 in this scenario we're discussing here. I'd fire him at the end of the year because he might be your best case to actually get in the top pick. And then it's like easy just to move on. You gave him 2 full years. He won 3 his first year. He won, let's say, 4 or 5 his second year. You're moving on. See you later. You didn't do a good enough job. And then from there, we start our coach search. And we have 3 first-round picks and cap space, and I think we're an attractive job. I watched the Football Life, Bill Parcells, last night. It was on the NFL Network. And Parcells took over a 1-win Jets team and turned it around right away. You see turnarounds immediately in the NFL. That could be the Jets a year from now, even in this doomsday scenario. Harley M. CEO has gifted a channel membership. Harley, thank you very much for supporting the show.
I hug him every day. I hug him every day.
This upcoming week, we're going to have info for those trying to come to the Beast Feast, a.k.a. Jets Dolphins, our group buy game on October 25th. If you want priority access to those tickets to reserve your spot, we're only going to have 70 tickets available. Make sure you're on the Patreon. You'll see the link later this week to lock in your tickets. It's going to include access to go on the field afterwards. We're going to be doing a tailgate before the game at L5. So get ready because it's going down. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. When you join the Patreon, one of the perks is you gain access to the Discord. where the conversation is always flowing with some of your favorite Asmaniacs. Last chance to get in on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, 2 weeks from today, it's going down.
Here we go. Don't miss out on the biggest and best meetup of the year. Saturday, July 11th, Atlantic City, New Jersey. HQ2 Beach Club. We're taking over, baby. At 12 p.m., it's the Gangrene Beach Club. Hosted by some of your favorites. Jake Asman, Rich Samini, Brandon Tierney, Fireman Ed, Connor Hughes, Antoine Staley, Brian Costello, Ryan Sampson, Zach Rosenblatt, Will Parkinson, Frankie V, Omari Brown, Matt O'Leary, Green Bean, Ryan Delaney, Richie Marula, Robbie Sabo, Dom C, Joe Blewett, Nick Faria, Paul Boy Green Esden Jr., Bree Martinez, Dick Shine, Tyson Roush, plus a special appearance by Gangrene legend Wayne Cribette. Get your tickets now. Must be 21 or older. Host subject to change.
Can't wait, man. 2 weeks. 2 weeks away. Let's go. All right, today's closer is on the line. Last call for raffle entries. 5 prizes up for grabs. But first, we say hello to this man.
Hey, how you doing?
Hello, Kyle.
So, I'm not calling about the Jets. I'm calling yet again about the Knicks. Apparently, it's a Knicks town.
It is very much a Knicks town, and Jose Alvarado, our New York City King, is returning.
Did you see The Athletic had a piece, I think it was Fred Katz, about Dolan and his reluctance to go into the second apron, and the brass is kind of at odds with the whole notion of going into the second apron?
I did. I saw some of the excerpts from the story.
So I understand, maybe letting Mitch go. I mean, he's been here a long time. He's starting to get to that age. He's had an injury-riddled history as well as he's played when he's been on the floor in his role. Do you think that there is any appetite out there if they were to go into the second apron for a sign and trade?
For Mitch?
Yeah.
I'd be a little surprised. I don't think I'm surprised there's apparently like teams that are going to give multi-year offers to Mitch. Like, I'm not even fully buying that necessarily. I still think there's a chance this is all like leverage to try and see if you can get Mitchell Robinson to maybe take a little less like some other Knicks have, most notably Brunson, to keep this team together.
Yeah, the only thing I'll say about that is when you win and you've shown that you can be a commodity in the league, you have a little steam. You have a little, I think teams are willing to do that if they have the money in free agency sometimes. I actually think that moving on from Mitch is probably the smart and the prudent move.
I don't disagree depending on what the deal is. Because again, like people are like, oh, how could you not bring them back? If they're not going into the second apron over money, that's one thing, and it's a fair criticism. But I don't necessarily believe that because it's not like Dolan hasn't wanted to spend. He's paying so many guys to not work for him still. So, like, it just might be a team building thing. Like, we don't want to pay Mitch a starter salary when we know he's going to play, if we're lucky, half the regular season games. And he's a huge liability offensively. He's great at what he does. We know what he brings, but he's up there. He's getting up there. He's been banged up. I would understand the Knicks thinking if they're like, well, we don't want to invest $20 million a year in the guy.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, part of the Katz's article was like, they're afraid that some of their secondary guys are going to flee if they see the unwillingness to go into the second apron now that they've won. But they've been able to bring back a couple of guys that they think are going to be useful pieces to them on the cheap. So, if they were to go, if they have someone that might have value to other teams, I just thought that maybe there might be an appetite out there. It only takes one team if there were a sign and trade scenario, and they still are going to actually have an exception, right?
They'll have the mid-level exception,
the mid-level exception. That could always be a useful play, but otherwise, they're going to be really depending pretty heavily on some of these guys that they've drafted in the second round, foreign players to kind of bring them in and develop them and have them kind of pop this year. So that's just something to look for. That's all I had, Jake.
I love it. Kyle, excellent call. And let's hope that one day the Jets give us a run like what the Knicks just did.
I can't wait. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
I've flipped it, everybody.
Like, I just feel like he's the guy that's going to lead us to the promised land.
Gino to the promised land? I thought that was going to be the closer, but you know what? There's a guy on the line who's out of his mind. He's so out of his mind that some think he's a madman.
If Mad Max ain't yapping about Jets, that boy, he's jamming. He's slamming, freaking dancing, wall smashing. I'm Jake Asman. If Mad Max ain't ever stopped yapping, that boy, he still be dancing. Then call Jake Asman. He got an orange wall.
What's up, Asmaniacs? How you guys doing today? So I have a couple points to talk about. So my sports takes. The Mets, they fired Mendoza. You know, it's a good move, but you know what, Jake? The Mets need to fire David Stearns. He's the worst manager in the league. How do you give away Pete Alonso like that? He's terrible. And for the Knicks, you know, Mitchell Robinson, he's probably gotten half the games. But, you know, I think, you know what, he should be traded to Nets. And honestly, who's even Nets fan? And then for the Jets, had a very good powwow with Ricky New York Jets, the most Aaron Glenn truther of all time. I was telling him the truth, you know, how Aaron Glenn's not going to be he hasn't shown you anything so far. He needs to show you the results. You know, Ricky in New York's like one of the biggest Aaron Glenn truthers. So it was nice to get a little powwow. But Beastbreaker, he says, "Oh, I can't stand him." Come on, Beast. You can stand me. You're just jealous I'm more entertaining than you. Is Beast on? Oh man. Let me talk about my stat prediction. So, Garrett Wilson, he's going to have 15 receptions for 1,200 yards and 7 touchdowns. What's your thoughts on that, Jake? 78 days until the regular season, Brian Jalick. That is true. We play the Titans in 78 days. We got to win that game. We got to win it. You're an annoying pain in my ass. Beast, what's the deal about this attic party? Oh, come on, Beast. You can save me. I love Beast and Max to be friends. That is true. Beast just not in my league. That is going to be heavy. There is no party. Come on. There's an attic party. Don't play dumb with me, Beast. Don't play dumb. But can I do the wheel champion?
Ladies and gentlemen, sports fans of all ages, welcome to the event of the year, the moment you've all been waiting for. This is the Asmaniac Rumble.
Do you seriously read English, moron?
What's the deal about this attic party?
Answer the question, moron. Do you read English?
I did read English.
I don't think clearly you don't.
What's the deal about this attic party?
There is no party, idiot. Pay attention. Get the head out of the toilet. Stop being dumb all your life. Stop smoking the cheap, funny cigarettes and sniffing the Kool-Aid for a nickel a round or two.
What's the deal about this long business?
See anything? Don't you get it, pal? I don't think you get it. This is how I know you're dumb, because I've had enough of all week. All week. Let's see. What kind of problems have I had? Oh, let's see. You try having a 23-year-old daughter who's out of control and blast you out of middle of nowhere and call you a tranny and all sorts of other names, which are finally disgusting to a level that you can never imagine. Try filling my shoes, pal. Try filling them. I don't think you got the ball for it anyway. You're not in my league. You're not in my level. You're not up to par. You're just behind the 8 ball. See, there's a difference between facts, fiction, and reality. See, I got kids and I got grandkids. Do I have enough problems on my plate? Yeah, I do. I think it's time you need to realize fiction from reality. Wake up. I've been around the block, so don't get under my skin or don't even twirl my twang. Just take a back seat and learn to pay attention. See, I'm the veteran. You're just a rookie. I've been to the promised land. You're just beginning. Think about it. Think about it. I'd say think about it, son.
Oh man, honestly, what's this deal about this?
First of all,
The VH
we're not
burger
talking about
fact?
this bullshit because I've already said this bullshit is fake, courtesy of Fruit Booty Mike, who basically is an asshole, and you know nothing about that loser. Because I'll tell you something about that loser. That loser has zero to offer because he's from Connecticut. You know, the fancy, high class, ha 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 ha. You know what? Who gives a rat's ass fucking egg? You want to be on the mean streets? Come to my streets. Come to my streets. Come to my hood. You want to see tough? I like to see you try, but I don't think you got enough hair on your ass to do what I can do. You can't not go one-on-one, man-to-man. You're not in my league, pal. Just remember, these are my hoods. These are my streets. See, I know how to control the streets. You are just a rookie. I'm a veteran. I know the game. You don't. Just remember that. You're just a rookie. You're going to get there someday. Give it 10 years. When you get there, you'll get there. But until then, take a ticket, get in line like everybody else, and work your way up the system. It's called the ladder of success. You ask anybody else who's been there. I'm going to give you an example. Raven, Shane Douglas, many other stars that I stay in contact with. I've been there. I know what it feels like. So you got a lot to learn about reality. You got a long way to go.
Hey, Beast, we can't see you, so we're having a hard time understanding your point. Put your camera
on. Come in my door. Come in my door, and guess what you'll get? A sock right in the crust of chops. See, I've had my head busted wide open. I've had my fingers split. I've had my toes busted. I broke my knees, broke my back. I've stunned more than what you can't do. At age 17, who broke Roger Maris's record? Right here. His 1960 record when he was with the Yankees. Been there, done that. 2 home run records, broke them. One at 17 at 44, and the other was at 32. How do you think I break these records? Balls of steel, brains, even beauty. See, that's all in the eye of the beholder. That's something you don't know nothing about. I'd like for you to read The Eye of the Beholder. Also, read some other history books too, like Douglas MacArthur. Even, you remember General Patton? I'd like to see you try reading Patton. Patton was a man. Patton was tough. He wasn't going to take bullshit from anybody. And even why don't you read upon the great Muhammad Ali, the man that used to go, I am the greatest. I am the greatest. What do you think Muhammad Ali got out of the Vietnam War? He said, you know what? You guys go first. You first. You first. How do you think he told the UN? He told them because he's not taking their shit lightly.
Good job.
How do you think Nixon got into the White House? Now how Nixon got in? He fought. He fought the Democrat Party. He fought the bullshit from all the networks. See, Nixon is not a crook, and Nixon will never be a crook. How do you think Reagan got in?
There's no really fight. You know, we're just joking around. We're just having a little fun.
No,
you know,
this is business, pal. On my turf, it's business. 100% business.
I mean, I think you just take things too seriously. We just joke around on the show. You know, I like when Jake jokes around.
I come from a league of business. I know how to get down to business. See, when you deal with business, you got a lot to learn about the real world. You're gonna get there someday when it comes time. See, we're already in a different space age. We're 2026. A different world, a different atmosphere. This atmosphere is very different from what you've seen from many, many years ago. And I personally don't care about that because 10 years from now, we're going to have different things. Who cares? We're going to have newspapers on our phones. We're going to have food that's going to look so small like this, like micro mini men. Our world's going to be very different. We're going to have flying cars. We're going to have flying saucers. We're going to have aliens going around. And not those kind that you see on the street. Real aliens.
I do not like this loser behind me. I find it disgusting. I'm a straight conservative Republican. I like women.
Look at us putting sunscreen on, Beast. Look at us. Look at me putting sunscreen on.
I'm not going to stand for that shit either. I like women, not this clown. Guy's a goof. Spazzoid. Until then, find a future, get a life, get a dream, and find something to do with your life. Take a back seat, son.
What's your plan for
As
today?
they say in the Hollywood world, see ya. Wouldn't want to be ya, fool.
Where? That Max just wants to have fun. That is true. We're just joking around this show. Beast just takes everything too serious. You know, it's all fun and games. You know, the Asmaniacs still like you, Beast. You know, all the Asmaniacs like you. Even I like you. We just joke around this show. You know, we just joke around like you guys. Good job. I mean, come on. We just joke around. You know, Gary, we joke around. You know. Thunderlips, you know, we don't take. That's why I lost the lead in the first round. You just take everything too serious. You know, I take it light. You know, who cares if people don't like you? You know, people still like you for the person you are, Beast. That's just that's just how it is, Beast Breaker. You know, people still like. You know, I don't care how it is. You know, some Asmaniacs can hate me. I don't care. You know, I'm my boys who support me, and I'm my Naz boys. You know, who still support me for the person I am. So who cares? You know, who cares what other people think of you? You know, that's just my thoughts on it. But I'll do it. Jeff.
Sorry.
J E T S Jets.
Yo, thank you. Jets. Let's go.
What a rumble. We'll be talking about that one for centuries. Ladies and gentlemen, last call for the raffle. NYLI in Atlanta. Our guy Jeff, who was at the Nick Parade last week, is in the raffle for one. Let's go.
Say go New York, go New York, go! Go New York, go New York, go!
I have begun counting all the names. So this is your last call if you want in for our 5 prizes we have up for grabs on the show. And why your membership went to the great Adam J. Adam, thank you very much. All right. We're going to bring on the master of raffle ceremony shortly. But first, Papa Jet in the house. Papa, check your email when you get a chance. An update on a raffle prize you won. 5 gifted memberships from Papa to the community. Let's go. Hit it. Here we go. These are from Papa Jet. Say thank you for your name is called. Long John Silber. John Jets fan. XA2118. Josh B. TCA. John Bagalotti. All receiving a gifted membership. Omar Ochoa. What's up, Omar? He's in the raffle for a while.
They wrote me off. I ain't right back, though.
Appreciate you, Omar. All right. Let me get all the names together here. I'm going to play a short clip. On the other side, we're going to bring on the master of raffle ceremony, and we're going to spin the Wheel of Champions. How does that sound? Sound good? We're back right after this short clip. Bob in Vermont has been waiting a long time, wants in on the Mets conversation from earlier. Hello, Bob.
Hey, Jake, how you doing?
Bobby.
And Bart Scott, how you doing? Jake is a great YouTube person, too. You guys make a good couple. You should get rid of the bald-headed guy.
Oh, man, Bob, you can't come over here firing people, Bob. We don't do that, man. Can't do that. Jake got his own thing going on, man.
Come on.
And Carlin's my guy, man. You can't be trying to see, that's what they try to do. They try to put a wedge in between you and stir up stuff, man.
He was on hold for 2.5 hours to say that Chris Carlin should be removed from the show the way Mendoza was removed from the Mets dugout.
Make with the yuck and the dance, you little monkey clown.
Tough.
Bobby Midnight, everybody. One of the greats. All right, are we ready for the Wheel of Champions to be spun for another week on the show? The master of raffle ceremony is standing by. Ladies and gentlemen, we bring him on right now.
I got to go take a shit right now.
We can't hear you.
Good morning, everybody. Todd Pettingill, right outside the studios. Are we ready to go? Bro, bring me that wheel. It's Saturday morning here live on WWF Mania USA Network. Let's get to that wheel. We're going to get one hell of a winner today. And I know the Mets do stink still, and the Yankees are going to kick the crap out of the Red Sox. I know that will happen. Oh, girls, count me down at 3, 2, 1. Let it bust!
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. All the names from the past week of shows are on the Wheel of Champions right here. We got 5 items to give away. If you win, to claim your prize, email me at asmanjake@gmail.com. asmanjake@gmail.com. You only win 1 prize per weekly raffle. And again, everyone who entered today specifically, you're already in for next week. One of our top prizes is going to feature a Broadway Joe Namath autographed helmet. Our first prize that we will distribute is a signed jersey by the great Wayne Corbett, who's joining us at Gangrene Beach Club next week. So you can meet Wayne in person. Get ready. All right, folks. Thanks to everyone who supports the show all week, all year. This is the 79th weekly raffle we've done since December of 24. How about that? You guys are the best. Here we go. Our first winner this week of the Wayne Corbett jersey is Doc Jet Fan. Congratulations to our guy, the Doc Jet Fan, the first winner in the raffle for this week. Okay. Prize number 2 is an Aaron Glenn end zone pylon. What you see on the screen is what you get. Bring the Wheel of Champions back up. Shuffle the names. Here we go. The AG pylon goes to Ted Ruggiero. Congratulations to Ted. He had a bunch of entries this week, and we certainly appreciate that. Ted, shoot me an email, asmanjake@gmail.com, and the AG pylon is yours. Okay. Garrett Wilson framed jersey plaque will look great in your living room, your man cave, your basement, wherever you watch the Jets. G5 on the wall. Bring the Wheel of Champions back up on the screen. Shuffle all the names. The winner is Ralphie Rocks. Congratulations to the pride of Long Beach, Long Island. Our guy, Ralphie Rocks, taking home the G5 jersey plaque prize. Okay. We still got a couple more prizes. This next one is a Jets Legends jersey. Namath is up there on the screen, but you could pick between Namath, Klecko, Curtis Martin, Corbett, Revis, Mangold, or Keyshawn Johnson. Devin yesterday won the Bart Scott signed football, and our other winner in the Asmaniac weekly raffle, because we added 2 prizes yesterday, Candyman won a jersey, and he went with Keyshawn. So who's going to win a Jets jersey now? Jets Legends jersey. We spin the wheel for the 4th time. The winner is Chili Plays. Chili Plays is the winner. I believe that's the first ever raffle win for Chili Plays. Congratulations to Chili Plays. He is the winner of a Jets Legends jersey. That means we got one more spin of the wheel. It is 2 tickets to Gangrene Beach Club. If you win and can't go, you could exchange the tickets for a shirt, a hat, a coffee mug, an item from the Jake Asman Show merch store that we could work out. A bucket hat, any hat, any shirt. We'll figure it out if you can't make it. If you can make it, we'll see you in 2 weeks. Here we go. One last spin of the Wheel of Champions. Our final weekly Asmaniac winner is Candyman. He did it again. The Candyman can. Oh, the Candyman can. Congratulations to the Candyman. He is our final Asmaniac winner. Again, Candyman won tickets to Gangrene Beach Club. Chili Plays won a Jets Legends jersey. Ralphie won the Garrett Wilson jersey plaque. Ted Ruggiero won the AG pylon. And Doc Jetfan won the Wayne Corbett autograph jersey. Give it up for all our winners. Let's go.
And here we go. Let's go. Let's go.
What a week. What a week. You guys are the best. Don't let go of that rope.
Just don't let go of the rope.
Jet up.
Jet up. Let's go.
Hell yeah. We're back at it on Monday with our usual volume of shows. We'll have 2 shows for you. Tanky V, our projected guest. So looking forward to that. Richie from Jet Media is coming on with me Monday afternoon. So that will be a fun spot with him. Again, you guys are the best. Thanks for watching Jet content in June. We're going to make it to training camp about a month from now, some way, somehow. We got Gangrene Beach Club coming up. So make sure, if you haven't, you get your tickets, because 2 weeks from today, it is going to be a ton of fun. And I certainly cannot wait to see so many of you in person. You guys are the best. Congrats again to all our raffle winners. Thanks to everyone who called in today. Thank you to my guest, Connor Long, for coming on the show and being part of the madness that is this program. I will talk to you guys soon. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And remember one thing. The New York Knicks are world champions. Just another reminder to bask in the glory. We'll talk to you soon. JETS, 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 Jets.
You sons of bitches. I've got a problem with my prepaid card, and I'm trying to fix it. There's some bogus charge on my card, and I don't like the sign of that.
Hey, Beast, which tank top do you like?
I'm not interested in tank tops. Those are for girls. What the hell is wrong with you? Give me someone American I can speak to.
Unless you get the account verified, I won't be able to.
Give me someone American I can talk to.
Why are you so upset? I do apologize, but
I already gave you the account number. Why are you sitting here BSing me? Well, you're sitting there with your hand up your ass. Hello? I had a problem fighting with one of the idiots on the phone. Couldn't speak one blink word of English.
What did they charge you?
$9.99.
So this is all over $10? What's your Venmo, Beast? You have a Venmo? I'll give you $10 right now to make you whole.
I'm pulling it up right now.
Jason-Storm-31. You're down $9.99?
Yes.
Here you go, buddy. You've been made whole.
New password, and I can't even get one. I don't even know a password. I'm trying something here.
Gator says, was Beast the best choice as your tech support engineer? I still believe in him, Gator. Absolutely.
I tried raunchy 14. Didn't want to work. Minimize 8 characters, maximum 20. You son of a bitch.
Hey, try I'm not a meatball 69. Hogwarts 350 LBs.
Hey, watch it. Got it. Oh, bullshit, man. Really getting me really ridiculous. This is so fucking stupid. I don't know what the fuck. Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've reached the part of the call where Beast turns his camera off and he's gone. Ricky NY is up next. Hello, Ricky.
Okay, did you lose me?
What's up, Ricky?
At any rate, I will be calling back soon with different Wi-Fi.
You're the man, Ricky.
Oh, hi. Jake wants me to ask you to click on the like button.
That's right, Lane. And if they don't subscribe to the Jake Asman Show, this team may never win another game. Let's go, Jets.